Hello my dear students, welcome back to the session. We'll start our PU first year, that is PUC first year physics journey from one of the fundamental lesson in PU physics, that is units, dimensions and measurements. Let us begin with very fundamental lesson, one of the very important tool for what? Learning many concepts in physics. That lesson is units, dimensions and measurements. So we'll start with units, dimensions and measurements. Units, dimensions and measurements. In which first concept is physical quantity. Physical quantity. So if we consider length of an object, it can be measurable. Length can be measurable with the help of the instrument called the scale. Simple scale is used to measure length of a given object. Mass can be measured, mass of an object can be measured with the help of the instrument called what? Balance. That is, balance can be used to measure mass of a physical quantity. Then the time can be measured with help of watch. Simple watch is used to measure time. Next, you can even measure temperature with the help of thermometer. Thermometer is used to measure the temperature. Next, you can measure electric current. Electric current can be measured with the help of what? Ammeter. Then you can measure voltage or potential difference. Voltage or potential difference can be measured with help of the device called what? Voltmeter. And force can be measured with help of what? The formula, that is F is equals to what? MA. Odometer is used to measure distance traveled by the body. Distance traveled by the body can be measured with help of device called odometer. Instant speed of any moving object can be determined with the help of what? The speedometer. In general, length can be measurable. Mass can be measurable. Time can be measurable. Temperature can be measurable. Electric current can be measurable. Voltage can be measurable. Force can be measurable. Distance traveled by the body can be measurable, or speed can be measurable. Any quantity, if it is possible to measure, then such a type of physical quantity, such a type of quantity will call it as a physical quantity. Concentrate here. Which quantity is said to be physical quantity in science? Any quantity which can be measurable. ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಎನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಕೇಪಬಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಜರಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ, then that quantity will call it as a physical quantity. Tell me, what is physical quantity? The quantity which can be measurable. Any quantity which can be measurable will call it as a physical quantity. So let me write the definition of the physical quantity here. What is physical quantity? Quantity which can be measurable. Any quantity which can be measurable, we will call it as a physical quantity. Here mass, you know very well, mass can be measured with help of balance, therefore mass is physical quantity. Electric current is measured with help of what? Ammeter, therefore electric current is a physical quantity. Force can be measured with help of the formula F is equals to ma. Therefore, force is called what? Physical quantity. Voltmeter is used to measure the voltage. Therefore, the voltage is physical quantity. So, whichever the quantities you are measuring, ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದನ್ನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ ನಾವು, will call those quantities as physical quantities. So, after measuring any physical quantity, you have to represent a physical quantity. For example, I will ask you to measure the length of a room. I will ask you to measure length of a room. After measuring length of a what? Given room. Or else after measuring the length of a given object, I will ask you to report the result. So you will take a scale and measure the length of a given object, and you found that the length of a given object is may be reported as 10 meter. After measuring the length, you are reporting the result of your measurement. The result of your measurement is written as N is equals to, for example, 10 meter, length of a physical quantity. Next, I will ask you to measure mass. For example, I will ask you to measure a mass of a given object. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು, ಅದರದ್ದು ಮಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. I will ask you to measure the mass and later I will ask you to report the result. So, mass may be equals to what? 5 kg. Look at the representation of physical quantity. This is called representation of physical quantity. After measuring any physical quantity, how to represent given physical quantity? Length can be represented as 10 meter. Mass can be represented as what? 5 kg. Suppose if you are measuring temperature, maybe temperature is given by what? 373 Kelvin. You are measuring the temperature and you are reporting the result, that is temperature is 373 Kelvin. Next, maybe you are measuring what? Electric current. Electric current is written as 0.5 ampere. Next, you may be measuring what? Voltage. After measuring the voltage, maybe you are reporting the result as 4 volt. So, whatever the physical quantities you are measuring, after measuring any physical quantity, you have to represent a physical quantity. How you are representing a physical quantity? Physical quantities are always represented in the form Nu. After measuring any physical quantity, say for example, P is a physical quantity, any physical quantity, after measurement of this physical quantity, result must be written in the form N into U. Result of any measurement is represented in the form N into U. Then what is N here? What is N? N is a numerical value of your measurement. N is a number or numerical value of the measurement of what? N is a numerical value of measurement of a physical quantity. This numerical value will explain what? Quantity of a measurement. Say for example, in a measurement of length, 10 is called numerical value. In measurement of mass, what? 5 is called numerical value. Measurement of temperature, 373 is called numerical value. Measurement of current, 0.5 is called numerical value. Measurement of voltage, 4 is called numerical value. So after measuring any physical quantity is expressed in the form physical quantity is equals to N into U, where N stands for numerical value of measurement and U stands for unit of that physical quantity. Always measurement of a physical quantity consisting of two parts. One part, the first part is numerical value followed by the unit of that physical quantity. Here what it is? First part, look at the measurement of length here. L is a physical quantity. 10 is a numerical value of physical quantity. U is what it is? Here M is, what is M? M is a unit of length. M is a unit of length. So how you are representing physical quantity? All physical quantities are represented in the form N into U, where N stands for numerical value and U stands for what? Unit of the what? Given physical quantity. Therefore, what is the next information here? Physical quantities are represented in the form how you are representing? P is equals to what? N into U. What is P here? P is physical quantity. P stands for physical quantity. N stands for numerical value of physical quantity. U stands for what? Unit of physical quantity. Physical quantity. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. So in between most probably I will use Kannada because many students who are joining PU Science, they may be from Kannada medium. In between I may use Kannada also. So concentrate here. You are measuring physical quantity. ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ನಿಮಗೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಎನ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲಿ? ಎನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ. ಆ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿದು ಎಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್? Second part is unit of what physical quantity you are measuring. So whatever the measurement you consider, all measurements are in the form of N into U only. First part is always a number and second part is always a unit. If you forget to write the unit of a physical quantity after measurement, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಬರೀಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ದಟ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎನಿ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್. ನೀವು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ನ ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಮಿಸ್ ದ ಯೂನಿಟ್, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ದಟ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎನಿ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ is always expressed in the form P is equals to N into U, where N stands for numerical value and U stands for the unit of a physical quantity. If you forget the unit, as I said, the physical quantity will not get any meaning. Tell me the examples for physical quantities. Which are the examples for physical quantities? Any quantities which can be measurable, all are called physical quantities. Example, length is a physical quantity. Mass is a physical quantity. Next, time is a physical quantity. Temperature is physical quantity. Electric current is physical quantity. Voltage is physical quantity. Acceleration is physical quantity. Speed is physical quantity. Distance is physical quantity. So ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅದನ್ನು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ವಿಲ್ ಕಾಲ್ ದೆಮ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ quantity. Okay, as I said you, physical quantities are represented in the form what? P is equals to N into U, where N is a numerical value and U is unit of a physical quantity. Then what is the relation between N and U? How how n and u are related. So very interestingly, n and u are related in the form n into u is always constant. What is the relation between numerical value and unit of a physical quantity? Numerical value of a physical quantity multiplied by unit of a physical quantity is always a constant. This product is equals to fixed value, that is constant. Further, n is inversely proportional to u. N is inversely proportional to u. What is the meaning of n is inversely proportional to u? Greater the value of physical quantity, that is the greater the numerical value of physical quantity, smaller will be the unit. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ನ್ಯೂಮೆರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ನೀವೇನು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ನ್ಯೂಮೆರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಏನ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ ಆ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ನೋ ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್, many units are used for single physical quantities. See for example, length. How you are measuring length? Length can be measured in terms of what? Millimeter. Length can be measured in terms of what? Centimeter. Length can be measured in terms of what? Meter. Length can be measured in terms of what? Kilometer. Sometimes the length can be measured with in the form of what? Light year. Many units are used for the length. Length na millimeter nalli baribodu nanu, centimeter nalli baribodu, meter nalli baribodu matte kilometer nalli baribodu. ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಬರಿಬಹುದು ನಿಮ್ ಕನ್ವೀನಿಯಂಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋದಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿನ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಿ, ಮಿಲಿಮೀಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದ್ರಿ, ಅವಾಗ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ದ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಮಿಲಿಮೀಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಾಗ ನೀವು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ದ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಯೂಸ್ ಬಿಗ್ಗರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್, smaller will be the numerical value. ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸಣ್ಣದಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಣ್ಣ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ನೋಡಿ, millimeter is a smaller unit. In this case the millimeter is a smaller unit. Kilometer is larger unit. ಅಂದ್ರೆ if you express length in terms of kilometer, that is larger unit, if the unit is larger, numerical value will be smaller. ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಲೆಂತ್ ನ ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಅದರದ್ದು ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದ ಯೂನಿಟ್, ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ numerical value. Suppose if you select millimeter instead of kilometer, if you select millimeter, what is millimeter? Millimeter is smaller unit. If unit is smaller, numerical value will be greater. Let me take one simple example here. What is the relation? First you try to understand the relation. Greater the numerical value, smaller will be the unit. ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಸಣ್ಣದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ಜನರಲ್ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಂಡ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಆರ್ inversely proportional to each other. Therefore n is inversely proportional to u. I will take one simple example. Okay, first I will take 1 kilometer. Length of a object, first I will take 1 kilometer. Length of a object is 1 kilometer. Next, same length, instead of kilometer I will write in meter. ಅದೇ ಲೆಂತ್ ನ ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯೋ ಬದಲಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಮೀಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತೀವಿ. ಸೇಮ್ ಲೆಂತ್ if you write in meter, 1 kilometer can be written as 1000 meter. 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1000 meter. Okay. Next, instead of writing in meter, I will write in centimeter. I will write in centimeter. 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. Therefore, 1000 meter should be equals to 1000 into 100 centimeter. 1000 into 100. Therefore, the answer will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you write in centimeter. Same length if you write in millimeter. Same length if you write in millimeter, then definitely it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nota hogli. When you are selecting the unit from kilometer to millimeter, when you are selecting the unit from kilometer to millimeter, what happened? Numerical value of a physical quantity is increased here. Numerical value increase ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಯಿತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು. Next it will become 1000. Numerical value is increased from 1 to 1000 when you changed the unit from kilometer to meter. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? 1 to 1000 numerical value is increased. Numerical value is increased. Then unit what you have used is decreased. Numerical value increase ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇನಾಯ್ತು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮೀಟರ್ is smaller than what? Kilometer. As numerical value increases, definitely what happens? Unit of a physical quantity decreases here. Both are inversely proportional to each other. Look at the what? When a length is expressed in terms of kilometer, it was 1 kilometer. When the length is expressed in terms of millimeter, same length if it is expressed in terms of millimeter, it is 10 lakh millimeter. So from kilometer to millimeter, unit of a physical quantity is decreased. Means kilometer to millimeter, what? Unit of a physical quantity is decreased. But what happened to the numerical value? Numerical value is increased. What it means? Greater the numerical value, smaller will be the unit. Below, millimeter is a smaller unit. Therefore, the numerical value is greater here. Kilometer is a larger unit. Therefore, the numerical value is smaller. What it indicates? Smaller the numerical value, greater will be the unit. Greater the numerical value, smaller will be the unit. In general, numerical value and unit are inversely proportional to each other. That is the relation between n and u. So what is the conclusion of the class? What we studied so far? Any quantity which can be measurable is called physical quantity. Physical quantities expressed in the form n into u, where n is number, u is a what? Unit used. Greater the numerical value, smaller will be the unit. Smaller the numerical value, greater will be the unit. In general, numerical value and unit are inversely proportional to each other. So watch this video repeatedly and try to what? To make your own points which are related to what? Physical quantity. Next class we will discuss the remaining part. Okay.